So, Michelin Wild Enduro Magi X is what I've had most time on, but I've also run the Gum X as well up front, versus the DHF Max Grip, and I've also had time on the Max Terra up front on this bike as well. Thoughts, because these are my two standout tyres over the last, say, 3 years or so. Personally, I find that out of the Michelin Wild Enduro, the Magi X is the better compound. Seems to be a little bit stiffer, a bit more grippy, that sort of thing. Hold its shape better rather than squirming around. The Gum X sort of seemed to squirm around a little bit, and the DHF, definitely Max Grip, seems to have the better properties in terms of grip for mine, up front anyway, and wear. It's only recently that I've gone back to the DHF on the front after running the Michelin for quite a long time, because I got on so well with it. But yeah, went back and had a bit of a look at some videos and that sort of thing from when I first started racing this bike, and I don't know what it was, but something just made me try it. I think they were, I don't know, 20% off or something like that at the time, and I thought, no, stuff it, I'll just give it a crack again. Heard some good things. Jeansy kept pushing them as well, because he loves them, but I can see why. So just thought I'd give it a crack, because I had pretty much settled on the Michelin Wild Enduro as the front tyre for me for good, basically. But there were some situations where I started to doubt that in the last 6 months or so, which is where this Max Grip kind of came in. So the Max Grip, I've been running up front now for probably the best part of 3 or 4 months, and been very, very happy with it in that period of time. And I think it actually, in the summer, and I haven't tested it in what I would consider winter conditions, but certainly summer-like conditions and spring-autumn conditions, because we've had a little bit of rain a couple of times in the last few months, the DHF Max Grip has surpassed the Michelin by a fair bit. All-out grip, I still think they're pretty similar, but DHF by miles rolls quicker, in my opinion, and has miles better damping properties, which I think comes down to the TPI, so threads per inch in the casing on the DHF, versus the Michelin. So I think it's a 33 thread per inch on the Michelin, and the DHF is a 60. Just means it's a little bit more supple, and you can feel that on the trail, and it feels like you've got a more ideal setup fork and that sort of stuff, rather than a more harsh fork under the front. Especially, which I'd never thought I'd say, because these side knobs are brilliant on the Wild Enduro, but the off-camber stuff, it just holds a line so well. You can even pull it back onto line if you're slightly offline, which is a hard thing to do, you know, in most situations. But yeah, it just tracks a line so well with the Max Grip. The only thing that I'm unsure at this stage of is how it will perform in winter conditions, so in the real sloppy stuff. And I'll go back onto the Michelin to test that and go backwards and forwards. But at this stage, for summer conditions and spring and autumn, I reckon the Max Grip is going to be my go-to. So yeah, rolling, tick over the Michelin, the damping, tick over the Michelin. The only thing is that grip related to the tread pattern, which is quite similar, I think, especially in the off-camber situation. But the damping and the ability to hold the line with the DHF is where it wins me over, versus the Michelin. So never thought I'd say it, but yeah, when you're paying for your own gear and you're after decent performance, it's worth continuing to test things until you get your perfect setup, because it's costly, number one, but also you want that performance as well, number two, especially if you're racing and that sort of thing. So very happy with it so far. Let me know if you've had a similar sort of experience with the Max Grip and the Michelin as well. Be keen to find out. But yeah, hopefully that's helped, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Cheers.